We have breaking news here at Haymakers News headquarters. Football exists during non-football playing hours, more at 11.
But
Hel-
it's 8 o'clock right now.
It's 10 in the morning.
it's 11 somewhere.
Yeah, fair enough.
AM or PM?
It's almost 11 like where Lee is. It's like a little bit to the left.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
It's been a while.
So, what are we actually talking about?
We're making some spicy takes today. We're like now that the NFL draft has come and gone, and now that we have a good sense of what these rosters look like in their full breadth. Good word. We decided to get together and like come up with some ideas about where we think teams are going to go this season. And I will fully admit that I am blatantly ripping off this idea from this one podcast that I like called the Deep Three, who do basketball stuff, and their shorts pop up on my feed all the time, and they are fucking hilarious. So Teddy just says, I like shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear. So we're going.
Okay, youngster Teddy. Anyway, so yeah, this is our NFL hot takes / bold prediction podcast, which, depending how long this goes, will probably be split into 2 parts. So, let's get started. Honestly, why don't we get started with, like, I guess our teams, I guess, or in Nikki's case, teams that are in the closest vicinity.
Right.
Yeah.
So honestly, I just did mine in alphabetical order of like we basically all got teams, and I just basically got who is left. So
Yeah.
we're starting with the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh boy. Okay, so what is your bold pick for the Arizona Cardinals?
It's not the boldest of picks. I went with Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And the only reason I say that as a bold take is because, like, lately it feels like all the buzz around, Offensive Rookie of the Year is always centered around the quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that all of the quarterbacks this year are going into situations where I think that they are going to have trouble um, standing out from the crowd when it comes to that sort of thing.
Right.
Like Caleb Williams has the best shot, but if he does good, then Roma Duze is probably going to do good, and I think they'll end up cannibalizing each other's votes. Um, let's see here. Jaden Daniels, I think could be great, but that Washington team is a dumpster fire. Uh, Same for the Patriots with Drake May. Michael Penix might not see the field. JJ McCarthy is like mid as fuck.
Mm.
And Bo Nix, like they lost Jerry Jeudy and I think Cortland Sutton too. So I don't think I can name a single Broncos receiver. So all bad. All bad news bears. So I think that and even the other receivers, like they're not in great situations either. So I think the one in the best situation to break out immediately and like have a really strong season is Marvin Harrison Jr. paired up with an actually good quarterback in Kyler Murray.
Here's I'll get to the Broncos when we get to them, but but they did get Josh Reynolds and LeJordan Humphrey in free agency. Plus,
Ooh, be still my beating heart.
plus Bo Nix got his college throwing buddy in the 4th round. So
Yeah, I was about to say they got his number 3 receiver because like Washington had like 4 or 5 pass catchers coming out in this draft.
All right. Well, as far as takes, yeah, I think that probably would be the best take for Offensive Rookie of the Year. But now let's I'll go sort of mine. Let's head on over to my team, the Buffalo Bills. And they are going to, and my bold prediction for them is they're going to finish 2nd in the AFC East, but miss the playoffs.
Oh,
Here's
Wait, who wins it then?
I I will get to that later.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay, so here's the thing. Uh Bills they had a massive sell-off. They basically lost pretty much every receiver
Hmm.
and only retained Curtis Samuel. And during the draft I was still I was I was watching. I eventually, I fell asleep after I think the I think it was like just before. I want to say it was just before the Lions picked. The fir-
Hmm.
so I went to sleep. Woke up the next day, and I see that the Bills did not pick in the first round, and they gave Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs.
Yeah, not only did they give Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs, but they originally traded down to 32 and traded Xavier Leger to Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah. So
that's dumb.
yeah. Very dumb. But yeah. So let's just going over the Bills draft. While I get that up. Draft picks 2024. So yeah, so
Uh,
they did end up getting Keon Coleman, which
hmm.
out of Florida State. But my biggest concern out of all this was their defense because they were hurting last year. Um,
Hmm.
Unfortunately, they didn't. I mean, Cole Bishop I think is a good pickup from Utah, as well as and of course and then they got Edifon Olafishio out of Washington to basically
Ulo Fascio.
yes Olafashio to help out in the linebacker core. But I am worried about this defense because
Hmm.
that like coming off again, these guys are coming off of injury, and they also are, and the Bills are also tied for sixth for as far as strength of schedule, as sixth
Oh,
hardest. 'Cause- So,
interesting.
yeah, so not because again, not only do they have all the number one teams, and also the AFC. What are we doing? Well, outside of the AFC South, we got the. I'll have to also deal with the NFC West, which is going to be very,
Hmm.
very good this year.
Hmm. Also,
So,
the Bills drafted a guy named Cedric Van Pran Granger, and I just think that's a fun name.
yep. Yeah, because I think didn't they lose. Wasn't sure if they lost anybody on their O line. Um, but yeah, I'm because of the strength of schedule, and Josh Allen has to get used to his new receivers. I'm not liking their chances of making the playoffs.
Interesting. I could see that honestly. Like they've had a mass like loss of talent, especially on the at the in the receiving room,
Mm-hmm.
but like also elsewhere.
Right.
So, yeah, I think this is reasonable.
Yes. All
This is
right.
a good take.
Okay. Leah, your first take.
Okay. So, the Chicago Bears.
Okay, go for it.
I'm ready to hurt.
We suck at training quarterbacks. We will
Oh
continue
no.
to suck at training quarterbacks, and we will be in an infinite hoop. Even though we have the third easiest schedule in the league, we won't make the
Pretty good.
playoffs. And we will be in a death spiral of trying to get a franchise quarterback for the next, I don't know, 10 years?
To the next infinity.
Yeah, because if you look back at our previous record, we're not good at making good quarterbacks actually good for the NFL.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, when like we've been around for 100 years and our best quarterback is Jay Cutler. Worry.
Yeah,
That is a very big worry.
yes.
Mm-hmm. But
And obviously, I am stating that we will not make the playoffs, even though we've got a very easy schedule.
okay, I will
And
agree.
also, we were like 2 games away from making the playoffs last year
Mm,
Yeah,
without uh Caleb Williams. So
right.
the issue is we're in a division that's actually kind of good right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I agree with that you're not going to make the playoffs, but I think Caleb Williams is going to be good. Like,
Doesn't matter if he's good. We still suck at making good quarterbacks better.
well, well, jeez.
Also, our O line is shite.
It's improving.
Still terrible.
Let's see. Well, let's see. Who'd you get? Well, as far as the O line, I think the only O line you really got was what Theo was. Oh no, that's free agents. Let's see, free agency tracker Bears. You. Let's see. You got Swift, Brett Rippon, Matt Pryor.
We drafted Kieran Amegadije
Mhm,
out of Yale.
right. Got Coleman Shelton on a 1-year deal, and yeah, I mean, I expect that, but I think they're gonna. I don't know. Maybe Eberflus has learned from what happened with.
I will say about Eberflus, like the fact that they kept him tells me that the players really like playing for him because he should have been gone last year, but it's just like if the players are not like actively revolting against him and he's not because the problem last year was the offensive play calling and that was done by the offensive coordinator and his happy ass is out of here.
Mhm, right.
So I could see a world where we get better.
See, my issue is with us not making the playoffs. 1 second. Let me remind everyone of a few things.
Yep.
Actually, wait. Let me look at our schedule again.
I will say we got a new punter.
Yay, a punter!
Not just any punter, Iowa's punter.
Oh.
So he might already have like his leg might already be tired.
How?
All right.
So like, here is my issue.
Mhm.
Sure. So we're lucky. We are lucky in one sense for our schedule.
Mm-hmm.
We play in London and then we go straight into bye week.
Good.
That's lovely.
The issue is our division has the Green Bay Packers and Detroit, two teams that I do see going for the playoffs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I don't see how we can face Detroit and Green Bay. For me, that's 4 games we've already lost.
All right.
And that's before we have to face San Francisco. That's before we have to face
Right.
there's just enough teams that we have to face where I'm like, okay, we're gonna lose those, we're gonna lose that. It's just
I mean, yeah, the gauntlet towards the I think was it week 11 onward is kind of eh. It's kind of a worry because you got the Packers, the Vikings. Yeah, you got the division. You have the Packers, the Vikings, and the Lions. Then the 49ers, Vikings again, Lions again, the Seahawks, and then the Packers. So yeah, that last bit is brutal.
yeah. I can see Nikki.
I thought somebody said that we had an easy schedule. This does not.
We do. We have the 3rd easiest schedule, but that's based off last year when some teams were really terrible that we were facing.
Mm.
But now those teams aren't terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Honestly, week 1 to week 6 we could go undefeated, but then after that, after our bye week, it could just all go downhill.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah.
Nikki.
All right. Yes, Nikki. Your next hot take / bold prediction.
All right, I got the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to miss the playoffs
Mm-hmm.
and also not fire Mike McCarthy. Like,
That would
Okay.
be hilarious.
yeah. So we all had a good laugh at how the Cowboys said that they were going to go all in this year and went out and signed a long snapper. That was very funny. But like the rest of the division did get better. Like Washington got a new quarterback. The Giants got like they drafted Malik Neighbors and maybe got Daniel Jones's replacement in Drew Lock, who
Yep.
I genuinely think is better.
They also got a who they get they got the edge rusher from Carolina too.
Right? Yeah. Burns?
Yes, Brian Burns.
Brian Burns?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're going to get better. Philly got a lot better.
The
Like,
draft alone.
yeah. And they also signed who was the running back they got? They got a
Saquon.
good running back. Saquon, they got Saquon. So like, yeah. Philly got better, New York got better, Washington got better, Dallas stagnated. And then they auto drafted in the draft. So it's just like this team is going to like fall off because the rest of the NFC is starting to come back. Last year it was a really weak conference, but now they're starting to rise back up. And now like they have to actually compete with the teams that got better. I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to fall off a little bit and they're going to miss the playoffs. But but Mike McCarthy has built up a little bit of good cred over the last few years by bringing Dallas to the playoffs. And you know how the Cowboys are like hesitant about firing quarterbacks. You saw how long it took for them to fire the Clapper.
Right.
So I think that even if the Cowboys totally fall off, I think that they're still going to hold on to McCarthy for at least one more year because they're scared of change.
Yeah, fair. I could see a world where Dallas has like a horrible season and he gets fired, but that would involve them going like well into a losing season.
Mm-hmm.
It would have to involve them like winning 5 or less games and with have Dak fully healthy throughout the whole season. Because if Dak gets injured, you could call this season a wash.
Yeah.
Right.
Like nothing's going to change. They're just going to be like, oh, it'll be better next year because Dak won't get injured. It would require a serious fall off from their quarterback and also like the like the team to just openly shit the bed.
Right.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's move from one Texas team to the other. And I'm making probably the boldest prediction I can make regarding this team. The AFC playoffs are running through Houston.
Oh, Houston gets the 1 seed.
Houston, I am predicting that Houston will get the 1 seed. I've seen like this team has the openedest window out of all the teams here. Like, I mean, yeah, we know I know, the Chiefs, the Bills, and yada yada. But with how fast of a rise that this team had last year, making it to the divisional round, like there's nowhere to go but up, and they just honestly just got better in the in free agency and in the draft because their big pick getting it in free agency was Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have then of course Houston's draft. Let's see, just getting that.
They got Kamari Lassiter from Georgia.
Yep.
They got a new offensive lineman in Blake Fisher from Notre Dame.
Yep. New safety. New safety out of USC, and probably the big one. I finally get to talk about this. C.J. Stroud gets his tight end from Ohio State.
Oh yeah.
Kate Stover. Kate Stover is a Texan now.
So,
oh, that makes sense.
The Texans apparently are tied for 4th in strength of schedule.
For
The only
for
ones
hardest.
with the only
For hardest.
yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say the only teams that have a harder strength of schedule are Pittsburgh, the Ravens, and the Browns. I feel sorry for the Browns.
That's because they're all playing each other.
Yeah, but I honestly think this team can prove it. I think they, given their, I'm just looking at their schedule right now. Honestly, their first couple, I mean, the first 4 games are pretty much first 3 games cakewalk. You got the Colts, the Bears, and the Vikings. Easy 3 games.
Was a cakewalk.
Sorry. First test is gonna be, and then next 2 games they're gonna be a test. Both the Jaguars and the Bills. But both are at home, so they have an advantage. Honestly, a couple of games I see them. I mean, I see them splitting with the Jaguars in the season, losing to the Lions, and I think their only other major loss that I can see them see happening is them losing to the Jets on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, the upward trajectory of the Texans. I'm happy. I'm locking this in. Texans #1 seed in the AFC.
Mm-hmm. Part of me thinks we should do like a tier list of like how spicy these takes are.
Anyway,
Yes, Leah, your next take.
the Atlanta Falcons will not only win the division, but will be will be either first or second in the NFC.
Oh,
Wow.
I do like that.
Because everyone in their division fucking sucks.
These are facts.
Hmm.
Aside from Tampa, Tampa's good.
Yes, I agree with that.
Maybe. I have Tampa, so we'll talk about
also
them.
the Falcons have the weakest schedule.
Oh, that helps.
They are tied with the Saints.
Again, they get to play each other.
Yeah.
It makes their schedules easier.
But yeah, like the Panthers, even though the Panthers are kind of really bad, Tampa Bay is kind of still recovering after having Tom Brady. The Saints are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything around, and it's the Falcons. I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow fluke their way into the 1 seed.
Yeah, they fluke their way into the 1 seed and then still somehow, despite the fact that the 1 seed gets the bye in the wild card, lose in the wild card.
Mm.
All right.
Not the spiciest of takes, but
I think
I think that's pretty spicy.
no, that is definitely that's definitely a hot take.
okay.
Yeah, considering that they were like terror shit last year, and granted, you could put a lot of that on Arthur Smith, but like still to make a jump that big would require Kirk Cousins, either Kirk Cousins to come back to what he was at the start of last year, which is a fringe MVP contender, or if that isn't the case, then Michael Penix comes out the gate and is just like, oh yeah, I'm already 25. I'm basically a pro already.
Like I'm looking at their schedule, and the only team that there's 2 teams that I'm kind of like majorly worried. Well, 3 teams that I'm majorly worried about for them.
Mm-hmm.
Philly, Kansas, and Dallas, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I will say though, if they get the 1 or a 2 seed, that means they have to beat some combination of, or be better than some combination of San Francisco, Philly, and Detroit, which is gonna be tricky.
Yeah, because if that's
they don't have to be better by much.
Well,
sure.
Yeah, but if that's the case, they'll probably be, if you think they're going to be the #1 or #2 seed, especially if they're #2 seed, whoever's #7, they're kicking them out.
They by the way, they also don't play at all this season, the Lions.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying in the
completely
standing.
And in fact, I think they completely avoid most of the big teams in their division. not their division, in their
in the conference.
conference.
Yeah, because they finished
Yeah.
they finished third last year.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they got
Think so.
yeah, so they got the big ones being like the Vikings, the Giants, and crap, who's the other one? Seahawks.
They also don't play Green Bay at all. So
Mm-mm.
it's like
Yeah.
all the teams that that I'd be worried about for the NFC, they don't face, so that team can't steal a victory off them.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah.
I'm worried that I'm right about this.
I don't know. I honestly think you might be wrong. I think that the Falcons are still going to be bad. Even and just overpaying Kirk Cousins is just going to be like the nail in the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they come first, they're still overpaying for Kirk Cousins.
Fair. All right. Anyway, let's move back to Nikki. Your next hot take.
Okay, my next hot take is with the Detroit Lions. Just talking about them, they're gonna be really good this year, y'all. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
y'all noticed,
Mhm.
Lions got good. Lions got real good. In fact, I think that the Detroit Lions are gonna be the first team to lock up their division.
Ooh, how fast?
Like week 14 or 15. Cause like yeah, the Bears, they still got some growing pains to go through. Minnesota is gonna be bad.
Yeah.
And I'll get to them when I get to them.
All right.
And then the only other team they have to really compete with is Green Bay. And like, I feel like teams are gonna start getting accustomed to Jordan Love. Because like last year, he had his good moments, but he also had his moments where he just went full blown, fuck it, he's down there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that is something that corners, like good corners, can pick up on
Right.
and can exploit.
It,
So I think that Jordan Love regresses a little bit this year.
okay. Yeah, because
Which would leave the door wide open to Detroit just running away with the North.
well, yeah, I've been picking. Looking at how NFL Playoff Predictor just came out with the schedule, so you can fudge around with that. But yeah, I have them. Actually, I have them as the number one seed, going like 14-3, and I think the only losses I have them are Dallas away, are honestly all away games. So Dallas, Packers at Lambeau, and then the 49ers. Those are the only three games I have them losing. But yeah, they could probably so they'll be 12. They'll be like 13-2 by week 14.
Yeah. Yeah, which would make it, even if the Packers are like 8-5 and like good, like that would still be enough to lock up the division.
All right. Speaking of the Packers, time for my hot take. Jordan Love MVP.
I hate your guts.
No.
How do I ban someone from a podcast? Okay, Google.
No, but yeah, that is my hottest of hot takes for the NFC. Jordan Love MVP season.
Why?
Because
why would you attack me, specifically me, like this?
Because I love trolling you.
I hate
so
your face.
remember when I said Houston is tied with another team for fourth? Green Bay.
Right.
Green Bay has a very hard schedule this year. So if he's gonna do good, he has to do MVP level good. So.
Yep. Which
even then, MVP good might still result in like 11-6.
Yeah, I have him going 12-5.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah, I mean, So this, that's my bold claim. The Packers got they didn't really do much in free agency. They got a lot in the draft, especially getting both. Their big two needs was getting a new offensive lineman as well as their stud safety, which they desperately needed.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
yeah,
they got their quarterback of the future in Michael Pratt.
yep. But yeah, like again, like I said with the Texans, upward trajectory for Jordan Love, and it's gonna result in an MVP like season.
I've got a spicy take.
Okay, go for it. What is your spicy take?
The Washington Commanders will announce that they are renaming themselves the Redskins. And
That would be the. Mhm.
and they will win their first playoff game since 2005.
Okay, I can only see
That
one
would
of those
be-
happening.
And bad news, it's not going to be the one that is requiring them to be good on the football field.
Honestly, no, they're not that bad.
They might be worse.
Well,
All right.
yeah. Well, did you have anything more to like fill up on that, or
No, not really. They're going to be kind of good. They're going to make the wild card and win the wild card, then be heavily bounced out of the playoffs.
Okay. Well, let's see here. If the Commanders make the playoffs, they would probably be like a 5 or 6 seed because they're not winning the division. Philly's still winning the division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'd probably
I'm saying they're making a wild card spot 100%.
Right, but then they would face one of the lower seeded division winners. So
whoever's winning either the NFC South, or the NFC West.
Uh-huh.
And
Man, it would be
wouldn't
some shit if Atlanta came back and then got bounced by the commies. Oh wait, they wouldn't be the commies anymore. The reskins.
Right.
And that's why I find it. That's why I like my hot takes. They're working together here. Atlanta does really well. Does amazingly well. Then gets bounced
By Washington.
Hail the football team.
Should still be the
There's
Reds.
so many jokes that we would lose if they went back to being the Redskins, though.
I still argue they should have been the Red Tails. Red Tail Falcons,
Yeah.
the Red Tails regarding the what you call
I
it, the
still
Airmen.
like the. I still don't mind the calling themselves the football team. The Washington.
It was
football team.
different. It was different. I like Red Hawks. But then again, maybe I'm just yearning for another Blitz the League game.
Yeah.
The bird gauntlet. I can go for another bird gauntlet.
Yeah, add another to the Bird Gauntlet.
All right. All right. Nikki, next spicy take.
All right, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars, and bad news, guys, Trevor Lawrence still ain't him.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But he's Cyclops.
AEW fans are in shambles.
But he's Cyclops.
And as always, Cyclops sucks.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, like he's gotten a lot of leeway over the last few years. It's just like, oh, he didn't have a rookie season because Urban Meyer was a hack, or like, oh, he just needs more time to develop now that he like actually has receivers and stuff. And it's just like, when is enough enough? Like, this dude would we were told this dude was generational. Like literally the best prospect since Andrew Luck. And if I recall correctly, Andrew Luck was good as a rookie.
Yes.
Like, it shouldn't be taking him this long to not be mid.
Well,
and like he lost Calvin Ridley and admittedly replaced him with Brian Thomas, which kind of feels like a lateral move.
Well,
like he just hasn't done enough to make me think that it's gonna get better.
Well, I don't know, because I'm trying to compare him to like how Peyton Manning was during his rookie season, because 98 awful season, he got absolutely wrecked. 99 they won the AFC East, and I think they had like the number 2 seed overall.
Yeah.
But they got trashed by, I think it was by the Titans. I think. 2000, I don't think they made the playoffs. 2001, they didn't make it. 2002, they were, I think, the wild card for the AFC South. But but then they were pretty consistent in 2003 until they won their first Super Bowl in 06. So
Yeah, but like the team was still coming together, but I feel like Manning was like by that point, by like 2002 or something, people were already talking about him being like one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and you can't say that about Trevor Lawrence.
yeah, very well. We can't really say that about the 2001 draft, the 2021 quarterback class in general.
Yeah, boy, we had high expectations for them.
All right, all right. So, all right. Let's see what can. Okay, so what can I compliment with the Jaguars' take of uh what do we call it? Of Trevor Lawrence not being the guy. So Brandon Perna, I'm sorry, but what if Bo Nix kind of sucks?
What if? What if?
Now, honestly, Bo Nix
What
is
if
actually
the sixth best quarterback off the board is not all that great?
Now, Bo Nix is actually in a really good situation. The Broncos have had the third best O line last year. Like I said earlier, they lost a couple of people. They did gain a couple wide receivers with Josh Reynolds, plus getting the Bo Nix's college college receiver. Like everything is in place for the Broncos and Bo Nix to have a good season. This is now all on him now. So
yeah,
and so because the Broncos do not want to dive in, rely on was it Zach Wilson and was it Nathan Peterman is the other quarterback?
Jarrett Stidham.
Oh, Jarrett Stidham. Thank you.
Yeah, who's not terrible.
Yeah,
like he's a serviceable backup.
right. So yeah, so there's a lot of pressure on Bo Nix, and there is a good I honestly there is a chance that Bo Nix will suck will suck, and turns out, guess what? He's not the guy again, and Broncos are still on the carousel.
They sad. Brandon Perna is in an inescapable state of just depression.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of inescapable carousels of depression,
Go for it.
the LA Chargers will lose even more games this year.
Compared to last year,
They had
What did
5
they
wins.
do last year?
they
The Chargers went 5-12 last year. You think they're going to do worse than that?
Yes.
Oh Christ!
I mean,
The Chargers
Oh God!
suck.
I mean, I kind of agree.
So y'all are thinking that Harbaugh is going to make no difference
When has he made a difference?
Michigan
when he was in San Francisco?
and Michigan.
And how good was okay, so
They were good.
when I say they're going to lose more, I'm saying they're going to lose so much that the city of LA is going to violently reject them.
Oh,
They already have.
Even more so.
Fuck you, Spanos is a meme in itself. You don't need to keep beating the dead horse. It's already dead.
Mm-hmm. I will say the thing that helps your case. I don't think I can name a single receiver on their team, other than the one that they drafted, Lad McConkey, just because he has a fun name.
Quentin No Hands Johnston.
I stand by my
I was,
statement.
I was going to say the fact that his nickname
I
is
said
No
receiver, not brickhand, not brickhand McGee.
Hands, Pylon.
Oh, and they also drafted Jerry Rice's kid. So problem solved.
Swings and roundabouts.
All right, I guess.
Mickey.
Okay, yeah, you're a pick.
And they also drafted a receiver for Michigan. So, and a linebacker for Michigan. So, pipeline.
Mm.
All right. So I guess I'm next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So next up is Kansas City, and boy, this one's tough. Because, what can I say about them that is an actual spicy take? Oh, they're going to be good?
They're going to win the Super Bowl.
Wow. And I'm not going to say they're going to be bad because they're not. That would be dumb. I want to be spicy takes, not bad takes.
The only way they could be not make the playoffs bad is if the injury bug walks up to them and breaks someone's leg.
Yeah, Mahomes has to go down for them to suck. And even then, I think they'd still be kind of okay with, whoever they have as their backup. Do they have, that guy who busted in Jacksonville as their backup still?
Give me one sec. I'll have it. Okay.
I was about to say, what?
Gabbert?
Blaine Gabbert, I think, retired.
Bortles?
Their backup. Hang on. KC Chiefs roster. Their backup QB is. Need position, please. Later. QB. It is Carson Wentz.
Ah!
Hard wheezing.
honestly, he's not terrible.
If he's your backup quarterback, you're all right. But if you have to rely on him for anything more than holding a clipboard, mayday.
Oh.
But I will point out he is better than some starting QBs.
That's just the state of the starting quarterback market being bad.
I'm aware.
Oh, by the way, the backup quarterbacks for the Chiefs went to North Dakota State with Carson Wentz and South Dakota State with Chris Olajuwon.
Huh.
Oh, I remember that name. He got drafted by Pittsburgh a couple years ago, I think. Okay.
Oh, and Ian.
So what is your hot take?
Okay, so I went with something that's going to make Bills fans very sad.
Wow.
Xavier Worthy's going to be really fucking good. Because the right now, the Chiefs receiving core is Rashee Rice, who can't stop getting in trouble. Apparently Xavier Worthy's car just got stolen, and the first comment I saw about it is, check Rashee Rice's garage. I think they also signed Hollywood Brown.
Yes.
That's the end of that sentence. So yeah, there's a real opening for Xavier Worthy to be Patrick Mahomes' number one receiver. That's gonna get you points.
Yes, it will.
My official prediction is 1,200 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, which would probably put him in the Offensive Rookie of the Year finalists.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now let's move from AFC West to the NFC West. Let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks, and this is kind of a bold prediction, but I kind of could see it happening. Seahawks will be last in the division with a winning record.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the NFC, the NFC West, San Francisco's still good. Cardinals improved vastly in the offseason. Rams are getting healthy again. Seahawks are kind of there. I mean, they're still good, and this is going to be their first year without Pete Carroll. So I do expect some growing pains, but the core is still there. I just expect It's not that they're going to be awful. It's just everyone else is going to get better.
Like I do like the coach that they signed, the defensive coordinator from Baltimore, Mike McDonald.
Uh,
He's already at least second on my Mike Mick coach rankings. Second out of 3.
Mike McDonald, yes. Oh, he's also from.
Like,
he also played for. He also was a coach at Michigan.
wow, pipeline. Well, not really. But yeah, I think that he's going to be a good coach, and like he's going to really bump up that defense that kind of needed some help over there. So it's kind of up to whether or not Geno Smith can like stay good.
Yeah.
And he sort of fell off last year a little bit. Like he wasn't as good as he was when he won Comeback Player of the Year.
Right.
But yeah, I think that the Seahawks can contend. And I think that division is going to be real tough. So I think you're onto something.
Okay. All right.
So speaking of that division,
Yes.
the 49ers will lose to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again.
Oh God, we are going full blown like Cavs Warriors in this timeline, and I hate it.
This is actually sounding more like Bills Cowboys from the 90s.
Yeah.
Not the hardest take to say that the San Francisco 49ers will be a good Super Bowl contending team, but
No, but it's the take that makes me the very saddest.
Yeah.
that's like some of mine were like, okay, I can't really think of a hot take, but I can make people sad.
It's a skill.
All right, next hot take. Nikki, go ahead.
All right, so I will say this is going to be number 16, so if we want to stop this halfway through, now would be the time.
Okay.
That sounds like a good
All right,
time
so-
because I've got a good starting.
Okay, so I got one more.
Yep.
That'll take us to halfway,
Yes.
and that is the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
And my bold prediction for the Raiders is that they are going to be not shit.
Oh?
I know. I'm a madman.
Wait,
In
are you-
fact, I think they will be not shit enough to almost make the playoffs.
Interesting.
Like they'll be one of those teams. They'll be one of those teams that gets eliminated on the last week of the season.
like the last week or the second last week because of like shenanigans. Like if this
There-
team ties,
Yeah, there's going to be a graphic on the NFL Network that lists all the things that need to happen for the Raiders to make the playoffs on the last week of the season, and it's going to involve like 3 different ties,
like a tie, this team losing, them winning.
a forfeit for some reason. Like there's going to be a lot that needs to happen.
All right.
But like they'll still be mathematically eligible the last week of the season.
Mhm.
Because like the team under Antonio Pierce got so much better. And they signed Gardner Minshew.
Florida man goes to Vegas.
Why is nobody applauding?
Okay, now.
Yay. Yeah, and we saw what he did with Indy last year. Like he took a team that had no reason to be competitive and made them really like they were eligible for the playoffs up until the end of the season. Guess where I got this idea from?
So you're saying they're going to be like 8-9 or 9-8 or something like that?
I think I'm leaning towards 9-8. And I also think this is not the one I had written down, but I also think that Antonio Pierce is going to be a Coach of the Year finalist because of all of this.
Okay.
Fair.
All right. Thus concludes part 1. We will see you for part 2.